But why, some say, the moon? Why choose this as our goal? And they may well ask, why climb the highest mountain? Why, 35 years ago, fly the Atlantic? We choose to go to the moon. We choose to go to the moon in this decade and do the other thing. Not because they are easy, but because they are hard. Because that goal will serve to organize and measure the best of our energies and skills. Because that challenge is one that we're willing to accept, one we are unwilling to postpone, and one we intend to win. We choose to go to the moon.
Hello everyone, welcome to Super Happy Dragon Lucky. This is episode 95, that's 0x95. It's the 151st episode. Reminder, nothing on this show is financial advice. This week we have the 3-question AMA, so stay tuned after the updates for that. And first update is number go up, which right now would be gas and CPI index, which is probably even false, but it's probably higher than they're showing. But everything bad is going up, and number going down. Crypto market cap, stock market, so on. Yeah, this ends up probably being a lesson in number go up mechanics that essentially when you only pay attention to that number, everything else falls by the wayside. So gets lost in the shuffle. Everything bad happens because we're not really paying attention to fundamentals. But anyway, we'll go straight to Dragonchain updates. And we have a new blog posted, Enhanced Blockchain as a Service, or how we integrate emerging tech like AI, machine learning, IoT with blockchain for measurable proof and security. There's a lot of very important stuff in there. Go check that out. Go share it. Read it. Share it with people who could find it valuable and useful. And next, we actually got the link for the symposium. It was the UC Berkeley Art, Finance, and Law Symposium that I was on a panel. And the video is now up. We do expect they'll have it on their YouTube, so we might shift the link to that. But go check it out, go share it, go watch it. There were a lot of really interesting questions. You have to think most of the people in the audience were, I believe, were lawyers. There were a lot of arts people there too, and there were some very interesting questions, including questions from I guess people that crypto people would consider normies, that very much, and again, I chalk it up to the number go up issues, that they actually were attributing many of the negatives of the world to crypto instead of the traditional system. How can I trust this and that? And it was very interesting for that reason and a few others. So, do go check it out. Let us know what you think. Next, we'll go to updates for Den.social. So first up is the Lair creation process, LCP. The June 2022 LCP commitment phase starts today. So it just started, and you'll be able to go and commit lore that you've earned on the system to effectively tell the system which layers should be created. And the winners for this month, based upon the DAO vote from a few months back, will be the number 1 layer proposal as ranked by unique voters, and the number 3 and number 5 layer proposals as ranked by total lore committed to those proposals. And that was to prevent the gaming where everything ends up getting committed to the top 1 or 2 layers. A very interesting system. So please go review all of them. Place your votes. You'll have 1 whole week. It'll end next Tuesday morning, and then we'll announce the winners. It'll be fun. Next update is on DENDAO itself, that we have results for the next priority, which is the smart contract API integration. And we've gone through this a bunch of times, but just so you know, it'll be a phased implementation. So this first phase is essentially to get the functionality in place so that tags themselves can have functional results directly in the system. Later, that will expand to having a more generic API to access other functionalities that in the end, the vision is that the Lair itself would be able to even have code that would be running as a smart contract within the system. So do go check that out. And something that's not actually on our list is that speaking of efficiency of a DAO, this is already implemented. So it resolved last week, I think it was, after our Super Happy Dragon Lucky, and it has already been implemented and it is in production. There was one bug that we found this morning, and that's probably on its way to getting fixed too. In fact, let me check real quick. Okay, it's on its way to getting fixed. I need to give some feedback on one of the questions. So, all right, let's see here. The next up is tune in tomorrow for Coffee with Den. Oh, see here, you can see it. I guess here's an example. So this one was, and I'm not full screen here, 1 second. This was tagged as abusive. And essentially the way that it works is we looked at 3 tags: abusive, spam, and NSFW, not safe for work. So abusive and spam will blur any image and all content for something that is the consensus is that it is that tag is correct. NSFW will only blur the image. That was a guess. I think that will work. I think everybody thought that design makes sense, but it can be adjusted. And essentially, if 50% or more of the votes on that tag are true, then it will be blurred. So if you have 1 vote up and 1 vote down that the tag, then it's still going to blur it, because anybody can look at the warning and click on the button and view that image or that content. So anyway, it's all good. Very exciting, because it's just the very beginning step. And what that means is we will probably have to have another priorities vote ASAP, because it got out sooner than we thought. And we'll have to, so we'll talk about that, I guess, maybe in the chat or something. And we will have to, probably the engineers will work on, a few little bug fixes or other little things in the meantime. So we'll make sure that it's still efficient. Let's see here. So tune in tomorrow for Coffee with Den. That's 1300 UTC, 6 a.m. Pacific, 9 a.m. Eastern US. The DENDAO meeting also this week is Thursday. It's a live call at 1900 UTC, noon Pacific, 3 o'clock p.m. Eastern. See the post in the DENDAO Lair for the agenda and a link to join live. Anyone's welcome to join to cover anything about Den or ask questions or bring up issues or try to propose something to the whole DAO community. It's a meeting. It's not a show, so don't be shy. It's it's there just to do that. You don't have to show your face. You can do whatever you want to do there. Next, we're going to move to updates for World Blockchain Roundtable. So episode 56 will air on Thursday morning. The topic is request for analysis. So it is fully, we really need as many people as possible to go in there and post projects or situations for analysis. They could be security things, but I think the general thought is that it would be, hey, I want to know more about this project, and there are a couple in there already that are really good. So, but do please go if you have any time at all, because we will want as much content as possible there. Let's see, that's it. Let's also watch and share last week's blockchain and manufacturing episode. The more views it gets its first week, the more lot all the participants will get. There was some interesting discussion in that about manufacturing and more industrial use cases. So it should be interesting to a lot of people. And also there is an active vote. I've already voted in the World Blockchain Roundtable DAO for July theme suggestions. So get in there and place a vote, and we'll get the 4 weeks of July filled up with content for the show. And watch the roundtable this Thursday at 1500 UTC, 11 a.m. Eastern, and 8 a.m. Pacific. So that's all the updates. So we'll do an AMA right after this.
Now, more than ever, our data is at risk. Our supply chains are in jeopardy. Our systems are broken, and businesses feel powerless. Dragonchain gives you a different way, a safer way, a better way, and you have power over your data. Dragonchain gives you proof in an untrusted world. Build now at Dragonchain.com, America's blockchain.
Okay, we are back with the AMA refresh, and now we go down, load the comments. Okay, first up, we do 3, right? Kratos, God of Boy. Can Dragonchain stand out in the current market conditions, or is a bear market necessary to wipe out all of the poop coins? And I guess, does that mean we are still not in a bear market when this was placed? The 610, it might have been 4 days ago. Maybe it wasn't a bear market. But I don't know. I would say the good thing about a bear market is it's much quieter, so it's easier to get information out there. The issue with the bear market is that when that information gets out there, there are fewer people that are paying attention because it's quiet, and a lot of people, especially a lot of the bigger traders, just go on vacation then, and they don't even respond. They turn off all their accounts. They do whatever. It's weird. But at the same time, that would be the traders, and maybe it's a good thing overall because they tend to also be the ones that only look at the number and don't think about what the number could be in a year or 2 years or 6 months even. So that's important to note. And I think generally you have to look at everything as positive as you can. And having a bear market right now, although I hate it, I always hate bear markets, but it is a good time to build and not have distractions. So, we're going to continue. We have a lot of good stuff coming up, a lot of projects that hopefully will still go out, even though it is a bear market. But a couple of projects might have interesting timing for what they do because of that bear market. I don't know. But generally the bigger stuff, it's probably either is a good thing or it doesn't affect us. I don't know which way you'd look at it, but that's kind of the thing. All right, next. Good question. Jacob Wayne. I'm curious and excited about another layer popping up called HODL Signal, especially since the emergence of Sticky DAO on Den. And here, let me say, because I did write some notes up because I did see this one in advance, which can lead to even more projects on Den. But I was wondering how people will be able to interact with their token. An acceptable and probable answer could be that they're in a process of setting all this up and figuring it out as they begin developing on Den. Okay, so I had down a couple of things we know, because I'm not an expert on HODL Signal, but the fact that they came in, they saw the value of what we have on Den and a way that they could leverage that for help in their voting and in their communications with community is amazing. And I think it says that they are at least smarter than the average bear, if you ask me. But they are on Polygon, and some of this I'm pretty sure is right. I don't know all of their goals, but I'm same as you. I'm looking forward to learning about what they are doing and how they're going about it. The vote, they're going to have voting in Den. They're going to use the governance system, of course. They're also going to use the content system as well. And we've been told that they expect to have contests and promotions for their community, and probably to broaden their community as well. And they'll do that inside of Den. And we might even, that's something that I even want to talk to them about, expanding that further. Maybe they could use some of the other tech that Dragonchain has, and maybe there would be an opportunity to integrate it into Den, right? Maybe that would be the best way to integrate the contest system. Just plug it into Den. I don't know, interface is already there. You would have you'd have a lot of really interesting angles to it. So we did also offer, or maybe when they are interested, that they could interact or they could integrate their Polygon based smart contracts with the Lair itself. So that's an open possibility that we're willing to help them with, if that makes sense to their goals. And some of the stuff, in fact, one of the reasons that some of us voted on that smart contract feature that just went in was because we knew they were coming, and they had asked some very specific questions about moderation of content, not safe for work, spam, stuff like that. And we wanted to kind of put that in advance, individually. A bunch of us were like, that makes sense to go ahead and get that in place for them, to accommodate what they're doing, as well as, by the way, there is one layer that's high ranked, one layer proposal in the LCP that's high ranked that still says not eligible to be created. We might need to go in and change that because with the new tagging feature, we probably could let that be created. So that's something we need to talk about as well, but it came faster than we thought. And then for HODL Signal, we might also add some other features that would benefit everyone as well. One of which, for example, is a custom in the governance interface to allow a customized voting expiration. So it wouldn't just be 7 days every time, 7 days, or you get a majority. Instead, it would be, you would be able to set it. Now, there are some potential attacks that way too. So we might have to figure that out. We might have to plug in something that would have an economy to it. Maybe the shorter it is, the higher quorum you have to have still, or something. I don't know. Or maybe we don't allow you to do it with the configuration items, but only with the the branding for the layer, but instead only the miscellaneous votes. Maybe you could set a 1 day turnaround on one of those or something. So anyway, that's hopefully they do well, and hopefully we can help them. But we'll all be checking it out together, seeing what they're all about. So, okay, next up, also Kratos got a boy. So you only get one, but you did get in the top three, so 2 of them. So good work there. You only get 1 lot credit, but we're going to answer all 3. So let's see here. Would the project consider going overseas, where crypto regulation is more friendly than the U.S., if the U.S. does not loosen their stronghold on crypto? So, I mean, the answer is anything's possible. I'm totally open to that, and it totally depends on what's going on. And we do have partners overseas. We do have a couple of projects that we are actively engaged in some level of either at a consulting level or something else to help them with their tech, but that they are building things outside. And even some of them have asked, why haven't we moved to this place or that, or would we consider it, or anything else? So it's definitely open. and especially as some of the various what do I want to say? I don't know what the legal term would be, but some of those countries, let's say, have really been making advancements that would be valuable to us. So it might make sense. We'll see. I'm going to go ahead and answer this number 4. There's no credit on it, but it's kind of the same thing as the problem with, because we had 2 from the same person, in case there's any oddity there. Still no credit, didn't make it to top 3, is the problem with the SEC holding back any development with government contracts. I don't believe so. We have no indication that that is the case. I don't think that matters. And based upon what the potential or proposed charges would be, it's not anything that would be, I guess, detrimental to our reputation or anything like that. Or, you know, that there should be anything that would bar us from doing any work with any government agency, U.S. government agency. So I don't believe so. So I like I said, I have no indication, and I'm pretty sure that doesn't even matter. So anyway, oh, and you know what else? The Citadel Loomis one. Maybe ask this again next week, because we saw this and I realized, you know what, I've not had a chance to read it. And then the team went out and we could find screenshots of the embargoed document, but we could not find a document anywhere. And so we just found it like 10 minutes before the show or so. So I started to look through it, and let's see if this holds true. I'm going to try to read it this week. If you can ask this again next week. See if it holds true that my very first scan, you know, just table of contents and a few pages in, it looks like there is nothing in there about utility tokens at all, which is an odd thing, because I even wonder if anyone has analyzed it in terms of how this, if this passed, and nobody expects this to pass as it is, if at all, but if this were put in place, how would it affect what the SEC has always considered, or at least when they use examples, you know, laundromat or video game tokens that are not securities, because they have an actual direct use. When I go into, you know, a Dave and Buster's or Bally Midway or one of those places from the 80s, that that how would this bill affect those tokens? Because it looks like to me that those would end up being electronic assets, especially Dave and Buster's, where it's on a credit card, you know, plastic magnetic strip. Anyway, so maybe we could even get them to lobby to make sure that utility tokens are still held. So anyway, one way or another, that's everything. So let's close out. And I pull the other document up. T-shirts 2022. So T-shirts-2022 gets 10% off until June 30th on Dragonchain.store. Anything in there that's T-shirt. There's factor stuff. There's the coat of arms for Dragonchain. There's all the Dragonchain standard stuff, all the JoJos or banana JoJo. Go and get some. They're cool. And I still need to get, there are a couple of that. I don't have a Coffee with Den shirt or mug yet. I need to get that. Maybe I'll do that this week. Also, watch Super Happy Dragon Lucky again next Tuesday. And follow us at Dragonchain, at Real Denizens, and at Jojo Row with zeros, J0, J0, R0 on Twitter and LinkedIn and Den. And make sure you like, comment, share. That's it. Thanks a bunch. Have a good week.
Because that goal will serve to organize and measure the best. Adaptable, all capital, label radical yet rational. A tactical approach is palpable if this animal is fallible. But that conclusion is laughable, so with for all detachable from the mandible, you see it now.